clan
the
as,
Burke
as,
clan,
as a clan, yeah.
the Burke clan, yeah. So Dennis there, take us away, Enoch Burke. What do you
Well,
make in the Burke clan?
I believe the man is full of integrity. Um, I mightn't. I don't think I've never spoke to the man, and I don't think we would be the type of people that would hang around with each other.
Yeah,
We're different. We're chalk and cheese, but I respect his morality, his conviction, his honesty, uh, his faith, and his family. I respect them all. This is not just this family, this clan are not just fighting the state with this
yeah.
Enoch Burke case. This clan are fighting the state for years.
When this happened, when this first happened, and I remember when the Enoch got arrested first,
Mm.
and he was brought into prison, and I really thought it was part of the agenda, Dennis.
Mm.
And you know, even now you can see it kind of is part of the agenda in a way. It's suiting their agenda, like
Well,
to have him in prison.
it's trying to frighten anybody who thinks they
But
should
yeah,
dare publicly stand up
um,
to this stuff in their job. You know.
I really thought it was now, and you know, it's a mad one because from people who have come from such a Christian values and such a Christian way of life, like, and they're very devout Christians, I believe, like, you know, um, and that kind of ties in again to what I'm saying is the Christianity thing is under attack, like, you know,
Mm.
and that's what I believe, and it's a big part to play in it anyway, I think.
Well, when you look at that family, right, and you look at that family, and you look at the systematic abuse it's got over the years, and then you look at the actual family and the message that the way they live,
Yeah,
they're all educated at home, all them children, right? There's
yeah,
10 of them. There's 10 of them in the family,
that's right, yeah,
and
and
they're all
they all kind of look alike.
yeah, of course they do,
The
yeah,
glasses and the
yeah,
yeah,
they
yeah,
do. Yeah, they do. Um, but they're all very well spoken and well educated, and they do well. One of them was the All Ireland debate champion in the college. The
right.
sister's a solicitor. I seen she got through on the ground there a few months ago, and it broke my heart to watch it, man. When they were
Yeah,
leaving
I
the
seen
court,
that outside. Yes, outside the court there. Yeah,
that was disgusting, you know.
yeah,
To see that happening. But yeah, I seen also Michael Martin went on the television or the radio, and uh, he said he was talking about the Burke family, and he said, "I believe this is a picture. This shows you how troubling it is for people who homeschool their children because they lack social skills." And he basically had a go at the mother and how she reared her children. And
yeah.
yeah,
I think that
basically said they were oddballs and look at them because of the homeschool, and that's how they are because they're not
yeah
socialized, you know.
they had a court case, didn't they? To the younger ones, I think, and Enoch. They had a legal challenge in because they weren't they were stopped. Weren't allowed to participate in the student societies at their college
Mm,
in NUIG.
mm.
Um, I think they lost that case, but you know, you can see that they've been fighting and going against it like for a long time, you know.
They were also fighting. They were
Um,
also down in Mayo at the start of the Wuhan flu. There was a young one who died. She was 17, and they bring her in. She went into the hospital, and they bring her in, and they put her in a ward with COVID people. And now she hadn't got COVID at the time, as they were saying with the tests. And she actually contacted her parents and said, "Look, I feel very worried here because they're putting me in with all these people, and you know, she had a heart
yeah,
condition, I believe, like, and she died, and they tried to put her down as the youngest COVID death, and it was actually the Burke family who exposed the fact that Mayo Hospital were pretty much, how would you say, derelict in their duties to the young one,
yeah,
and
yeah,
they, yeah, they received lots of abuse as well from the state from that, you know.
yeah. Ah, they're well in on it, you know. It's not nice that man is still up in Mount Joy tonight, you know.
Must be an awful
And
lot of stress to take in for the whole family, you know,
you
to
know,
feel
like
that.
sitting in a prison cell, lads, I won't wish it on anybody. 18 hours a day locked in a fucking room, no bigger than the one I'm in now, you know. 8 feet wide or 8 feet wide by maybe 12 foot in length, you know. And that's you, like,
Mm.
uh, 18 hours a day. And then whatever treatment that you're getting on the landing and the treatment that you're getting from other prisoners and the prison officers and yourselves. And you know, it's a fucking stressful way of life. Like, I
Yeah,
won't wish it on anybody.
a lot of people now, including my man and dad. I walked into my man and dad's a couple of weeks ago, and they came up, and my man and dad, you know, from watching the RTE, like they basically said, fucking weirdos, like they're a bit of a weird family. Like he should have
Yeah,
just he should have just stayed away from the school. My dad said, and I said, Dad, what are you talking about? It's the
yeah,
principle of it. It's the principle of
yeah,
it. The man wanted to do his job and he wasn't allowed, and he was turning up
yeah,
every day because he was able and willing to do his job, but he wasn't being allowed to. And they were dragging
yeah.
him to the courts and taking his profession off on him. And you know, apparently he's well loved in the school there by the children. Like,
He was standing up for what he believed in, wasn't he? He's
mm.
standing up for his principles, like,
And
and
then
his morals and
it turned
values.
out
Like,
as well in the court case that they actually lied because the mother and the family and the child in question never actually demanded this and never actually reported
so it
Enoch.
was the school who pursued
Yeah,
it. Like, something
yeah.
else, ain't there?
It's crazy, yeah. And that
Wow.
the principal who did expel him at the time, she's now up in a school up in Ulster somewhere up in Donegal. I think it's an elocution school. You know, it's all about the wording. It's a
Right.
really, really
Oh
high.
yeah, yeah.
She's been moved
Talking.
off. Like she's been moved
Right.
off. So
Very good.
um, yes,
But yeah,
it's
man, I
sad,
wouldn't
man.
wish that on anybody to be up. That man is stuck in Mountjoy tonight, you know, and it's all
Well, that's
about
why that's why that's
refusing
why,
to call
that's why I called out when at the gathering
somebody
at
by the
the
right
custom
name.
house there a couple of weeks ago on Bank Holiday Monday when it
Mm.
turned into a political rally, really, and
Yeah,
some of these wannabe politicians were starting to use Enoch Burke as an example, and I just shouted out, "Well, let's go up and support him, man." And a few people around me said, "That's a good idea, man. That's a good idea.
yeah,
Let's
yeah,
go up and ask them." And I went up and they weren't going to let me. And then I said, if anyone wants to come up with us, a few of us are going to support Enoch Burke and Mountjoy. And a few of us gathered and we went to walk up. And that's when it happened with the guards. But they didn't want us. They didn't want the visual of people outside the prison, you know.
exactly. Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I
There
believe
was
Enoch
a
was all about.
yeah, there was a crowd of you going up there
Yeah.
off the cuff, like there was no
Mm.
you know, and that's probably like that gathering that day was obviously it was coordinated with police, let's say, wasn't it that day? Like, I'm nearly
Yeah.
sure. So, like, by ye splitting off and going off a different direction would have, yeah,
Yeah, it
you
wouldn't have been a
know,
good visual for
no,
RTA or, you know.
no. But look,
But they really not. They really haven't as well. It's kind of sad as well because the people of this nation really haven't assembled once. I know, like when he went in the first time, like I went up outside Mountjoy, and I know Ferg went up like every day for a while, and a few people from the whole of the line went up. But in terms of like
yeah,
a man who's been in prison for nearly a year, and it's so well known that there still hasn't been a people's movement behind them. It's very sad, I think.
yeah.
You
Well,
know.
again, Donica, like Enoch Burke is not really pushing anyone's agendas, or he's not pushing anyone's parties, or he's not pushing anything. So why would anyone be interested in it?
Mm.
You know, let's be real about it, like, because that seems to be the way it is. Unless you're pushing somebody's,
Unless you've got something to offer.
yeah, unless you're
Yeah,
pushing an agenda, or you're talking about certain things, or you know, people don't want to know. And
I think
yeah, like,
I think it would be a beautiful sight to see Enoch Borg or some of the clan members, you know, involved in the new era in the future as a, you know, a kind of an overseer as minister for education or something along those lines, you know.
well,
Um,
yeah, like I think spending a year in prison for refusing to call somebody what they're not, you know, I think anybody deserves a position where they'd be able to make a difference, especially to the youth.
mm,
Because
he's put his money where his mouth is, you know, in that sense.
yeah, yeah,
And that's
yeah,
10 minutes. That's 10 minutes. We'll finish it off with.
sound, yeah.
God bless Enoch Borg, huh?
God bless you, not working the family, yeah. I hope
Yeah. Hard times.